Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Lunchbox. Today we are going to make root beer infused pork chops. Very simple recipe, requires very few ingredients and serves as a great option for lunch or for dinner. So let's get started. To make root beer infused pork chops, we are going to use 2 boneless pork chops, 2 cups of root beer, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon black pepper, half a cup brown sugar, half a cup beef broth, 1 teaspoon Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon hot sauce, and 2 more tablespoons of root beer. The first step is we're going to marinate our pork chops in the root beer. So we're going to take our boneless pork chops and place them in the 2 cups of root beer. And we're going to let this marinate for at least 2 hours. The longer the better. The more root beer will be infused into the pork chops, but we want to at least let it marinate for 2 hours. So once you have the pork chops in the root beer, we're going to cover this and refrigerate it for 2 hours at least. While our pork chops are marinating, we're going to go ahead and make our glaze. To make the glaze, we're going to take a saucepan and turn the flame onto high. And in this saucepan, we're going to add our beef broth. And to this beef broth, we're going to add our Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon of it. And then 3 tablespoons of root beer, 1 teaspoon of hot sauce, and finally our half cup of brown sugar. We are going to combine all these ingredients, and we have to reduce the sauce to about 3/4 of a cup. So it's going to become nice and thick, and we will be able to baste our pork chops while they grill using this root beer glaze. So we are going to just let it boil and reduce to a nice thick glaze. In about 10 minutes, you will notice that the glaze has started to thicken, but we are going to let it continue boil and thicken even more. It should take another 10 to 12 minutes. After about 10 more minutes, you will start to notice that the glaze has thickened quite a bit. At this time, we are going to turn off the flame and we are going to keep the glaze aside until we are ready to grill our pork chops. It's a nice and thick glaze, and this will stick very well to the pork chops. My pork chops have been marinating for about 4 hours now, so I'm going to go ahead and take them out. And now we're going to season both sides of the pork chop with some salt and pepper. flip them around and do the same thing on the other side with salt and pepper. Next, we are going to brush some of our glaze onto each of the pork chops. Make sure to apply on the sides too, because we have about an inch of thickness on the side. Once you've applied the glaze on one side, we're going to go ahead and flip pork chops and do the same on the other side. Once you have finished applying the glaze on both sides of the pork chop, now these pork chops can be cooked. You can either use an indoor or an outdoor grill to cook both sides for about 3 to 4 minutes. So let's start cooking our pork chops. Like I mentioned before, you can use an outside grill, inside grill, or can even cook it on a pan, whatever is convenient to you. I am going to cook my pork chops on a panini grill. Once the grill heats up, I'm going to spray some oil. And then next, go ahead and place our pork chops onto the grill. Depending on how thick your pork chops are, you may have to cook each side accordingly. Mine are about 1 inch thick, so we're going to cook each side for about 4 to 5 minutes. If your pork chops are thicker than that, you may want to cook slightly longer. After cooking one side for about 5 minutes, we're going to go ahead and flip our pork chops and cook the other side also for about 5 minutes. Wow, look at those grill marks. Now we're going to cook this side also for 5 minutes. One other thing you can do is go ahead and baste your pork chop with some of the marinade, the glaze. This will make sure that the pork chops are nice and moist. Once you have cooked both sides, the pork chops are now ready to be enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do try this recipe and let me know your feedback in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.